Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joined today of Department of Trade Consumer Protection is our friend Michelle. She is back. She's right there. And we're talking about shopping for the holiday season, kind of just looking at this broadly of keeping it safe. Again, we know a lot of shopping may have already happened, but that doesn't mean that you're still not going to continue to shop and find some great deals. But there's some things you should consider as you work through the holiday season. When you think of the holiday season, whether it's identity theft, whether it's safe shopping online, going to the stores, returns, what are you guys like prioritizing? I mean, looking at all these press releases, of course, but what are some of the top complaints maybe that come in when you're surrounding the holidays and shopping, or what people are concerned about?
Yeah, well, we find that online shopping is one of the number one issue across Wisconsin at the national data source, the Federal Trade Commission. So people are finding those fake websites, they are finding fake products out there and being taken advantage of. And then once you've shopped online, now you are susceptible to some of the non-delivery scams or the phishing scams that say verify your information, which can then put you at risk of identity theft. So we just look at it as a package, and we have to be sure that we're taking our time at each step to navigate that space so we are secure during the holiday seasons and year round.
So you started this year off with telling us, when you're going to that website, make sure it's it's the source.
Yes.
And I can't remember the wording you used. I'm sure you're going to tell me in a second. But when we're looking for that legitimate site, maybe actually typing it in and going direct instead of taking that shortcut from an email, text, whatever, because that may lead you into a scam that you didn't even know for one of the spoofing sites.
Right, absolutely. You need to consider, is this website safe? How do I know it's safe? I go there myself. I don't click on that solicitation I received by text, by email, by social media. And if someone's wanting you to go to a website where it's this deep discount for the holidays, no one else has the product you're looking for, or it's just a too good to be true price compared to everybody else, well, that is a red flag, because how is it that they have product? How is it they can sell it that reduced of a price? Where's the catch? Fake website or fake product.
And if making sure that the product is real. So there is certainly a lot of fakes. And now we know we can get things even cheaper that are sort of, I don't want to use the word knockoff, but, similar imitation. Thank you. So how do we verify that it's real and not impulse buy and be in trouble? Oh man, this isn't even close to what we thought it was going to be.
Isn't that a great tactic? Don't impulse buy. Have your list, look for that. No, that's perfect. But the other thing is you actually have to read the reviews. Do a review search for the product and the company, and then you need to read the details about those reviews, but also the description of the product you're thinking about buying. It might tell you in its own description that this is imitation, a knockoff, if you will, or that it doesn't even exist. Because the picture might look like it's got all these dials and buttons and fancy lights and everything because it's an impersonation of another product, but its description, it's plug and play only, and it doesn't tell you that it's got 12 modes of lighting and 6, volume settings type situation.
It just sits there.
Right. That's going to say, this isn't really the product that I'm hoping to get, because every other description is selling this product and everything that it can do.
Let's go into security as far as making sure that we are not only walking ourselves into a scamming site, but just as far as checking out, what are some things that we should be aware of if we are shopping, whether it's online, in person, and just making sure that it is secure?
Yeah, back to the basics of just being online and making sure that when you transmit a username, a password, a PIN number, a credit card number, any personally identifiable information, you're at the secure portion of the website, the HTTPS. So maybe the shopping cart is not at the S, but they need to have transferred you over to a secure location to give that information. The other thing you can do when shopping online is talk to your credit card company about getting a virtual credit card number that pairs with your number, but it's going to be the online number you use, so that way if there's a compromise, everything else set up on your credit card isn't compromised and you don't have to replace that card. A lot of companies are doing that virtual number now.
And then in the identity theft side of this too, certainly there are just so many different scams, so many different things. So if we want to avoid not giving away any part of our identity, of any sort, what are some just basic things that might be red flags depending where you are? And there's going to be a whole slew of things of what you're doing, whether you're giving, I like the example of online quizzes because a lot of people are doing that now to get some discounts for shopping, but is it really legit? I don't know.
Right. Whether it be surveys or fun quizzes to find out what your reindeer name is, that's the example I keep using. You're around friends or family and you think, oh, won't this be fun to play? Well, what is it you have to give in order to get that game? And do you have to give that information in order to get, is there an alternative in order to do that? But be cautious when it comes to the holiday giveaways and sweepstakes, when it comes to those quizzes and games, even rebates or warranty cards. Legitimate businesses may ask for a lot more information than they need to actually deliver on a rebate because they're also doing some marketing at the same time and building their data bank. Well, they could be vulnerable to a data breach. So give the minimum amount for what it is you want to receive, but ask questions. Are there alternatives? And what does that information mean to me? Is it a potential security question? My dog, my high school, my mother's maiden name, the oldie but goodie. You have to think through all of that and protect that data.
And you did say, you mentioned going back to the basics. I mean, we are talking about, really think about, do you really need to give your name out? Do you need your social security to do that? Things that maybe should be red flags, or if you even question it, stop, right?
Right. We're in such an automated mode right now because we're in such a hurry to get everything done on the list so we can enjoy the holidays and make sure those packages are received that we kind of just auto-respond. We really have to pause before we hand over anything and think it through. Why do they need that? And aren't I supposed to keep that safe? Isn't that just mine? And don't share that.
All right, we covered a lot of topics today, and certainly we want to make sure that you have a place to go. DATCP's website, Department of Trade Consumer Protection, you've got this all laid out really nicely. But if you do have any questions, or if you think you've been taken for some sort of reason, or you're questioning a recent purchase, they can reach out to you and ask questions, and even you guys can open up an investigation to check on. Maybe there is something there.
Right, absolutely. Reach out to the Consumer Protection Hotline at 800-422-7128 or go to our website to file the complaint directly at datcp.wi.gov.
All right. Well, appreciate the time as always, and hopefully everybody's staying safe out there, shopping smart. And if you got any questions, check in with DATCP. Seriously, they got the stuff you need to know as you're shopping. And yeah, we're looking for great deals, and we're really rushing this time of year. This is when they get you, so you don't have to be gotten. You can be above that.
Absolutely. We're all here to work together.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank you.